The budget negotiations or lack thereof is front and center. Minnesota just shut down last night, almost like the Republicans are doing a trial run. It's the same issue. Won't raise taxes on millionaires and billionaires, but at the federal level, this is really serious stuff.
It is enormously serious. On Monday, I went onto the floor of the Senate for about 90 minutes, outlining what I believe was an approach that made a lot of sense in terms of moving deficit reduction forward, an approach that was fair, and frankly, an approach that is supported by the vast majority of the American people. You might not know it by reading the media, but the overwhelming majority of the American people believe in shared sacrifice. They do not agree with the right-wing Republicans who control the House of Representatives that this budget should be balanced on the backs of the middle class, working families, our children, our seniors, the sick or the poor. That's what the Republicans want, and they were doing everything they can to protect the wealthiest people in this country and the largest corporations from paying a nickel more in taxes or in doing away with any of these loopholes that are out there. And I think that is just outrageous, but it's not just me. I mean, poll after poll after poll shows that that is not what the American people want. And what I did is we composed a letter to the president, and we asked the American people to sign that letter, demanding that the president stand tall, not yield to the Republican demands, and fight for a budget that is fair. And I got to tell you, I was really surprised. We started that on Monday, and as of today, we have close to 90,000 signatures, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
What I would like to do, Tom, and I want people to hear it, let me read the letter, and I would hope that people will go to our website, sanders.senate.gov, and just add their names to it. But here's the letter, because I think it capsulizes what I believe, and I think the vast majority of the American people believe on this very, very, very important issue. This is the way it goes. It goes, "Dear Mr. President, this is a pivotal moment in the history of our country. Decisions are being made about the national budget that will impact the lives of virtually every American for decades to come. As we address the issue of deficit reduction, we must not ignore the painful economic realities of today, which is that the wealthiest people in our country and the largest corporations are doing phenomenally well, while the middle class is collapsing and poverty is increasing. Everyone understands that over the long term we have got to reduce the deficit, a deficit that was caused mainly by Wall Street greed, tax breaks for the rich, 2 wars, and a prescription drug program written by the drug and insurance companies. It is absolutely imperative, however, that as we go forward with deficit reduction, we completely reject the Republican approach, which demands savage cuts in desperately needed programs for working families, the elderly, the sick, children, and the poor, while not asking the wealthiest among us to contribute 1 penny. Mr. President, please listen to the overwhelming majority of the American people who believe that deficit reduction must be about shared sacrifice. The wealthiest Americans and most profitable corporations in this country must pay their fair share. At least 50% of any deficit reduction package must include revenue raised by ending tax breaks for the wealthy and the elimination of tax loopholes that benefit large, profitable corporations and Wall Street financial institutions. A sensible deficit reduction package must also include significant cuts to unnecessary and wasteful Pentagon spending. Please do not yield to outrageous Republican demands that would greatly increase suffering for the weakest and most vulnerable members of our society. Now is the time to stand with the tens of millions of Americans who are struggling to survive economically, and not the millionaires and billionaires who have never had it so good, respectfully." And as of now, we have close to 90,000 names on that letter to the president, and I hope that early next week we'll go well over the 100,000 mark, and anyone who is interested in adding their name to that letter to the president, just go to sanders.senate.gov and please sign up.
Yep. And it was a fine thing Monday that you did. We were plugging it, as it were, throughout the day Monday, that you'd be on the floor at 4 o'clock, and be sure and check it out if you were able. Why are more senators not fighting this the way you are?
Well, it's a long, that's a long and complicated question, which has to do with a million different things. But this is what I will say. I think we are beginning. What worries me is we are very, very late in the process. What the cutoff date is on this, I don't know. The Secretary of Treasury says it's gonna, we're going to have to deal with this by August 2nd, and then people tell you, when you're dealing with trillions of dollars, you don't simply make a decision and 5 minutes later it goes into effect. You're going to have millions of accountants working on the stuff and working out the books, and maybe you have to reach an agreement by mid-July in a couple of weeks. But this is what I can tell you, which is good news. I am a member of the Budget Committee, and I have been working very hard with the Democrats on the committee just on the principles that letter talked about, shared sacrifice, that at least half of the budget has got to come from eliminating tax breaks for the very wealthy and large corporations. And also we have to take a very hard look at military spending. And I'm happy to say that some of us on that committee have made significant progress. I think on Tuesday or Wednesday, the chairman of the committee, Ken Conrad of North Dakota, is going to release an outline of that budget, and I think people will believe that it's going to be a pretty good budget. So we're making some progress, but the issue is you have incredible Republican intransigence. Where we are, Tom, is in November, the American people in a variety of states elected the most right-wing Republican, most right-wing Congress that we have ever seen. And 6 months later, for the first time in the history of the United States, the so-called fiscal conservatives are bringing us to a moment where we may not, for the first time in American history, actually pay our debts. And if that happens, you're really into uncharted territory. Really, nobody knows what's going to happen. Right. How many people will not get their Social Security checks, their Medicare help? How many veterans will not get the assistance that they need? How many government agencies will literally shut down? We don't know. No one knows. But that's where Republican intransigence has taken us. What these guys are doing is acting as bullies. They are the schoolyard bullies. And they are saying, if you do not give us everything that we want, which is massive cuts to Medicaid, throwing millions of kids off of health insurance, making it, I don't know what happens to many, many old people now who are in nursing homes, where most nursing homes, many people in nursing homes now are there because of Medicaid. I don't know what happens.
Wheel them out onto the street, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know if we're going to be able to pay people to wheel them out on the street.
Yeah.
Threats to Social Security, et cetera, et cetera. So, well, let's continue this discussion.
Okay.
I would hope that people are prepared to sign that letter.
And indeed. And you can find the letter at sanders.senate.gov. Sign this letter. Stand with Bernie. Let the President of the United States know our thoughts on this whole debt issue.